You're listening to the very first episode of PODCASTINATIng, which is our young professionals podcast for Forge. So welcome. I'm Rose.
I'm Rhett, and today we're going to be talking about the Mayoral Form that happened at the Dillon House on October 25th. It was put on by Forge and KSNT, and Rose, she attended the Mayoral Form, and from what I understand, it was a big deal, and she's here to talk a little bit about it. We're not here to promote one candidate over the other. We're just here to provide some information. We'll have links to the videos and articles and other type of content in the description, so feel free to go and do your own research. We just kind of want to put some information out there. So, Rose, how's it going today?
Pretty good. A little chilly. Not ready for winter.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So, how was the Mayoral Forum?
It was great. So they had, of course, this little happy hour beforehand. So we're all, have our drinks and we're networking and just talking about what we want to hear from the candidates, which was awesome. Met a lot of new people. Like every time I go to one of these Forge things, I'm meeting somebody new, which is fantastic.
Always. That's perfect.
It's awesome. And everybody's awesome that I meet. Well, so this in particular, it was going to be a really quick forum because it was only half an hour. The format was 3 segments. So the first 2, they asked questions from former mayors of Topeka. And then the last section were a couple of questions from Forge that we thought were very important to ask of the candidates.
That's really cool.
Yep. And then the answers are super short. So when you go and you click on the KSNT live feed, the answers are very quick. It's very fast paced. They only had 45 seconds
They were moving, huh?
To be able to answer these questions. They did a random draw to decide who would give their opening statement, so then Spencer went first, and of course they're only a minute long, but we're not going to rehash that whole everything they said.
Right. And who ended up moderating this?
That was going to be Jace Mills from KSNT and Dr. Bob Beatty.
Awesome. I bet you they did a great job.
They were awesome. They were fantastic.
So let's go into some of the questions that were asked. How much real power does the mayor have in the current form of government? How would you specifically use the power that you have? So how did the candidates answer these?
So Spencer, he went with this idea that the mayor's voted on by the citizens of Topeka, which is not an idea, that's actually what happens. But his statement was the mayor's voted on by the citizens of Topeka. I know. So that means spending time in the community and engaging with citizens, taking their ideas and their needs and taking that back to City Hall and making sure that those are the priorities that they're working on. And you're not going to be able to help people if you're not out there talking to them. Right. And so he was saying that essentially.
So he wants to be the voice and just take all the people's problems back to City Hall.
Yeah, and the power is being out there and talking to people. That's what's going to make a difference.
Okay.
So then Michelle, her approach to the question was more of a, be careful with the word power, because, power implies that you're going to go in and you're going to force people to do things. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell people how it's done. I'm going to tell this group to do this, and I'm going to tell another group to do another thing. And really, power is more of an influence. It's not going and telling people what to do. It's how can you use your influence to make things happen. So that there's actually the power of collaboration, and that's what is really important to this position, and that we all have to work together in the same direction in our community.
Perfect. So our current mayor, Larry Wolgast, he asked a question, and it was, the city has made a major investment in downtown Topeka. Is this an appropriate investment for the city, and is the city adequately funding and supporting development in other areas of the city? How did they answer this question?
So this one, Spencer said, no one opposes development of downtown Topeka. Everybody wants it to be successful. It's a fun area. There's a lot of great businesses down there right now that you can check out, and the growth is really exciting. But that on the flip side, there are issues that we are, it's not so much that are we adequately funding them, but are we equally applying that across the city, and that we actually need to, that in our development of downtown, that we've forgotten other areas like North Topeka, Oakland, East Topeka, and just other parts of the city. And so we need to make sure that we are also developing other areas and not just focusing on one space in particular.
Okay.
So Michelle, she said, downtown is absolutely crucial. It's the core of our city. But we've also been investing in other areas, and we're all very proud of that. So examples that she gave were the East Topeka Learning Center, that's being built, that there were incentives for research to open up on the east side of town. And then if you go to Oakland, they have this, beautiful archway that you can see.
Yep.
So, and then she did specifically mention that we are also looking at the Wheatfield Village development that's at 29th and Fairlawn. And so there are other things that we're doing throughout the city. And
we'll be talking about the Wheatfield Village development in the next episode or two. So stay on the lookout for that. But downtown, it seems to have been a pretty hot topic at the debate, or at the forum, rather. How much did they talk about that?
Well, that leads us to another question about Jeito, which is the Joint Economic Development Organization. And they provide funding for economic development in Topeka and Shawnee County with revenue from a county-wide half-cent sales tax. So the last part of that question was, there are those in Topeka that believe the expenditures are not appropriate, and what are thoughts on how these funds should be used?
Yeah.
So Spencer said that we're doing a lot of great things with those dollars. So the problem isn't how we're spending them. That's not an issue.
Okay.
The issue is just how we are explaining it to citizens, and that we're not communicating that message of where that money is going. So people it's not clear, and so then that's why there are issues with what we're spending money on.
Makes sense.
He said we have to explain it better. So he wants to see, in respect to the actual shift in spending, just a little more on local businesses and supporting them. So Michelle said she went kind of a different route. She is actually on the council at Jeito, or when she got on the council at Jeito, that they were investing in primary employers and land. And that's not a bad thing to invest in. And there are a lot of other communities that are, really envious of Topeka for having this shovel-ready land for businesses to come in.
And so that means that they can just come in and build on that land. Okay.
Yeah, we just have it. There's, no kind of roadblocks there. However, that they said that they needed to have incentives for entrepreneurs and small businesses. So they actually do currently support small businesses, and so she was just kind of detailing some of those changes they already made to getting this,
help them.
to help small businesses. And that we need to keep focusing on things that improve our quality of life.
So they both were talking about small business and quality of life. So those are two important things for Forge members, for young professionals in Topeka. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that both of them are focused on those issues. So tomorrow we're going to have Angel Romero on, and he is with Forge Your Future initiative, and he's going to be talking about Forge Your Future and City Council. But he was one of the ones who asked a question at the Mayoral Form. So what did he ask? He asked, what should Topeka do to both attract and retain young professionals in our community?
So Michelle said we have to continue working on our entertainment district. We have to have a place to go. Because we all know people go to Lawrence, they're going to Kansas City. Sometimes people are going to Manhattan. And so, in Topeka, we have great ideas and great people here. And so we just need to create that space that people want to go to. And there are, again, a lot of great places that are here already that you can go to.
Yeah.
But just that idea of an entertainment district is just, I can go to one place, do everything I need to do in one area.
Have some
That's
drinks, have some fun, have some, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so that's why she mentions after that, that's why downtown is crucial, because there are some bars down there, there's other developments coming up, there are a lot of articles on those things, different things to do, different shops, there's a lot here already, and so really just taking that to the next step would be awesome. But she said we also need to talk about housing that's attractive to young professionals, like apartments and lofts. So we already have some lofts that are, being built down here in downtown, but just having that great housing that people find attractive.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. We also need to continue engaging with young professionals through things like reverse mentorship programs. And when we sent out a tweet about that, there was instantly a response that that's really cool. And if you don't,
what is that a little bit? Explain that, the reverse mentorship.
So that's where a young professional would actually mentor a top leader or a business person in the community and really tell them from our perspective, hey, here's what you can do to better serve us.
That
which is really
a cool
neat.
idea. That is a cool idea.
Yeah, so having those kinds of things would be a really great way to engage young professionals and get them to choose Topeka and to want to stay here.
Yeah.
So Spencer said that we've got to convince our high school students that even if they go to college somewhere else, they really should come back here and be like a boomerang. We also need to convince Washburn students that Topeka really is a place to stay, and it's got a lot to offer, which is true. It does.
Yeah.
This means we need an increase in mentorship and internship opportunities, and to show that there are obvious opportunities for them here in Topeka. We need to focus on quality of life through things like better transportation, which just recently they had one of the electric buses out driving around and testing that.
We did get a new electric bus. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty
green
cool.
technology.
Talking about child care, because people, when you're living someplace, you're eventually maybe you're gonna have maybe not. You don't have to one way or the other, but just if you do want to have a family, you're going to need access to great child care, family-friendly things to do, and then,
Right.
Entertainment districts. I mean, we need all those things. And then ultimately, if we don't have jobs, we just can't attract people to Topeka. And so those were kind of the ways in which both candidates said they should attract and retain young professionals.
Yeah, and those are both great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to wrap this first episode up. Thank you guys for listening. And again, I'm Rhett, and Rose is here with us. And be listening for us on our second podcast. We'll have Angel Romero on here, and we'll be talking a little bit about some more issues. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So early ending. It's all right. But no, I'm just saying we're going to add a link to the full KSNT broadcast in the bottom. So if you want to watch it yourself, then it's about 28 minutes long. So there's definitely more stuff that they covered. But these were just, again, a couple of questions that we thought really directly impacted young professionals that you'd want to know. So if you want to hear, in their words, go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out, and check us out on YouTube and Facebook and on our socials. So thank you.
Twitter, Instagram. Bye.